Taylor Ryan with the Whitestown Fire Department. Today on In Quarters, we're on thin ice.
Welcome to In Quarters with the Whitestown Fire Department. I'm Clint Crafton, and this month we're talking about ice rescues. We'll start out with some conversation about ice and ice safety, and then we'll head out to the water to see how our rescuers prepare each year for this type of emergency. We'll take a look at some of the tools and techniques that we use, and I think you'll get a pretty good feel for just how challenging this type of emergency can be on our rescuers. Both the wind, the air, and the bitter cold water temperatures are very taxing. As you've probably seen from our recent ice safety PSA, our message is this: please educate your children and keep them off the ice. Every year, people die in Indiana because of ice-related drownings. Let's make sure that doesn't happen here. Now let's go back to a conversation that Chief Owens and I recently had with Jet Quillen. Jet is a corporal with the Indiana Department of Natural Resources, where he serves as a conservation officer. He oversees officers in the 5 counties of District 6. He's a dive rescue instructor, and he's done quite a bit of work on ice safety for the outdoor enthusiast. We started the conversation out asking Jet about ice recreation in Indiana.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation. We encourage people to go out and enjoy the outdoors, and this time of year there's not a whole lot you can do outdoors, so a lot of people will go out ice fishing or ice skating, things like that around the ice, and we understand that. We just urge people to do it in a safe way. It's just like with anything. You do your planning. You check the ice, you check it for its thickness, its quality, and if you do that before venturing out on it, then it turns out pretty good.
So what makes ice safe? What is safe ice if somebody's a responsible adult, an outdoorsman, that kind of thing?
Well, before you even go out on the ice, anything over 4 inches is going to be considered a safe thickness. Clear ice is strong ice. If it's cloudy, it's going to be potentially weaker ice. So at least be 4 inches in thickness and good clear ice.
Okay. Dave, talk about some of the other conditions, in the more metro areas that we deal with that make that ice more of a questionable thing.
Well, anytime you have moving water, it's going to be questionable. The ice is not going to be as strong as river ice. Is definitely less strong than lake ice gets, as well as the depth of the water, because we have retention ponds. The shallower the water, the faster the water will freeze in the lake. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. There's the condition, the quality of the water, what's in the water in the retention pond. Is there stuff running into the retention pond? Is there a runoff? Is there street runoff that we get from the salt from the road trucks that put salt down to clear ice? All that stuff has an impact on ice. So it's different we have different ice in the city as opposed to ice that's out in a farm retention pond. But once again, snow load, thaw and freeze has an effect on this ice. And although it could be 6-8 inches thick, if it's snow ice or if it's layered ice or something, then it's not going to support weight like a clear ice will.
Right. What happens after you fall through the ice? If you accidentally fall through, if you're a sport fisherman or something like that. So kind of talk to us a little bit about, some of the techniques that people can use to try and maintain their chances, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. It's kind of like anything when you go around any body of water, frozen or not. You got to have a plan, and you've got to let people know that you're going out on the ice. First of all, let someone know you're going. If you can go with a buddy, go with a friend. Definitely go with them in case something does go wrong. You have someone there to render aid. But if you happen to be on the ice and you fall through, the first thing you're going to realize is how cold it is. And your body's reaction to that first introduction to that cold water is to gasp. And sometimes when you do that initial gasp for air, you suck in water, and that can put you into even more harm. But the main thing is stay calm. You're not going to sink right away. You're going to float. Whatever layers of clothing that you're wearing due to the cold weather is going to give you some flotation. So stay calm. You're going to float, and start trying to pull yourself up out of that. And remember, the biggest thing is kicking. Kick your feet, because that's going to give you that propulsion to get up out of that water onto the ice. But the main thing is stay calm.
Okay. anything else that they might not understand about our side of, when we make these responses when we go out on these types of runs?
Well, I just want to point out that that kids are naturally curious, and it's important that you talk to your kids about this and make sure that they know the dangers of that ice that's in these retention ponds, and it's a dangerous situation to put them in. And also, they need to know if they do see kids out on a lake or out on a retention pond, and call us. Call law enforcement, call the fire, call 911.
Jet, you got anything else to add?
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off that the kids don't understand the dangers. They're curious. They're drawn to water, drawn to ice. So they're going to be curious when they're out of school and go and adventure out. But having that talk is key. But also, if you are planning on going ice fishing or going to be on the ice for a recreational purpose, wearing your life jacket. We promote the life jackets save lives, and it doesn't matter if it's on ice. They can still save your life if you happen to fall through. Wearing a life jacket, having some ice picks or ice awls with you that can help you, dig into that ice to help pull yourselves out. Buying tools like that at your local sporting goods store that are under $10, or a life jacket at Walmart for under $10. Something such so cost effective like that can actually save your life when you're not even planning on it.
And with that excellent safety tip, we wrapped up with Jet. Thanked him for making the trip up, and Dave and I headed out to the water. Now, the crews are hard at work prepping the ice for the day's training, and that meant cutting a large hole in the ice and getting the shelf out of the way so it was safe. As Dave briefed the crews on the training to come, I met up with firefighters Hickey and Shearer to discuss our ice immersion suits.
Hickey's wearing it right now. This is a thermal layer has inside of it that gives us our buoyancy to stay above water, as well as our thermal layer to keep us warm in the ice water. It is completely enclosed from the neck down. The only opening you see is in your face. It has neoprene gloves, full grip on each side with straps cinched down tight. We have a 5-point harness that goes inside the suit as well to keep everyone tight, all the way down to the fully enclosed boots that are also neoprene to give grip on the ice.
Every year our rescuers gear up in the harshest of temperatures and head out on the ice to be prepared for when someone does fall through. We start out with the basic self-rescue techniques, just like Jet described earlier, and then we move on to the rescue progression of yell, reach, throw, row, and go. Now these steps also work well for a bystander who witnesses a water emergency. The first is yell. Get the person's attention, have them calm down, and in the case of an ice emergency, have them rest on the ice shelf until help can get to them. Reach. Now in our case we use pike poles to extend our reach, but for a bystander this could be anything such as a garden tool or a small ladder. The next up is throw. We have prepackaged throw bags on all of our apparatus that allow us to throw a rope to a victim. And for a bystander, this could be something similar like an extension cord. Now, row for us means boat operations. And on ice, well, that's just not practical. So we move straight to go. Go, being the most dangerous, means the rescuer in the full immersion suit makes their way out onto the ice and into the hole with the victim. The rescuer then secures the victim with a haul line, and the crew on the shore pull the rescuer and the victim out of the water and onto safety. From there, our paramedics go straight to work treating the victim for hypothermia and get into the hospital for further treatment. Well, we really hope you enjoyed this episode and found it informative. As always, we appreciate your comments and feedback, and we'd love to hear if there's something you'd like to see in the future. Join us again next month for another edition of In Quarters with the Whitestown Fire Department, and until then, stay safe.